Velites, thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. William Ruto, the president of Kenya, is calling on all military in Africa to unite so that we can safeguard our motherland. African youth all over the world, we have been calling for all of us to have one military, one leader, so that together we can move the continent ahead. And we have been singing this song for a very long time, and we are expecting that our leaders, African Union, will act in that direction. But it seems what we have been saying, some leaders are taking it as to whether they are just saying it to please us or they really mean what they say is another thing. But William Ruto, the president of Kenya, speaking in Nairobi, is asking for this to happen so that together collectively we'll be able to fight and protect the continent. These people we know are thriving on the division of Africa. The more we keep dividing ourselves as they've created a division among us, the more they are progressing. And we cannot fight these people individually. And that is why we need all of us to come on board as one people so that we'll be able to fight and safeguard the continent. But our leaders, because these organizations, AU, ECOWAS, SADC, and whatever, are being created by the oppressor, these people find it difficult to do so. Why is William Ruto also calling for this to happen is also another thing. William Ruto had a problem with the United States of America because he had decided to visit China to form other alliance outside of the West. So as to whether he's scared that the United States of America will be after him, and that is the reason to which he's calling for all Africans to unite, is another question that we need to be asking ourselves, because this man is a big P.
President William Ruto has inaugurated the 2025 African Chiefs of Defense Conference on Wednesday and called for a unified continental approach to security. Military leaders from 37 African nations are in Nairobi for a meeting for the landmark summit aimed at redefining the continent's security landscape. Ruto underscored the urgency of collaboration action to confront terror, cybercrime and environmental threats as Africa faces an increasingly complex security environment. Willie Lusige with the details of that story.
In a powerful show of solidarity, 37 African chiefs of defense and key international allies gathered in Nairobi to confront the growing wave of insecurity threatening the continent. President William Ruto inaugurated the conference, warning that instability in one country risks destabilizing the entire continent. He called for a united African security strategy built on collaboration, intelligence sharing, and joint military operations.
These challenges test the resilience of our institutions and demand that we reimagine our peace and security architecture.
Kenya's Chief of Defense Forces General Charles Muriu Kahariri said Africa's security is increasingly unstable due to easy access to weapons, terrorism and cyber threats. He called for stronger military cooperation, regional integration and better intelligence sharing to tackle these challenges.
Today, our militaries have to contend with both traditional and non-traditional threats.
U.S. Africa Command Commander General Michael Langley reaffirmed America's commitment to Africa's security, describing the continent as a vital strategy partner in an increasingly unpredictable global order.
But I remain committed to our partnership and look forward to building on a strong foundation AFRICOM has established with your countries.
The conference runs through the week, with the defense chiefs expected to endorse new frameworks for intelligence sharing and coordinated operations as Africa braces for the shifting pace of modern conflict.
We are in an era that is marked by complex cross-border threats. We were talking about terrorism, trafficking, piracy, and we know that we are more effective when we face these challenges together. I know that many of you have first-hand experience working with the United States military, of course, and with each other. We together have conducted many training exercises like Flintlock, Cutlass Express, and African Lion. I personally had the opportunity to see troops from several of your countries train earlier this year at Exercise Justified Accord near Mount Kenya, and I was impressed by what I saw. There were, of course, the high-tech weapons and the tactics training, but the most impressive thing that I saw were service members, your troops, who showed leadership and professionalism. Security is not just the absence of conflict, but it's also the presence of opportunity. Security enables economic development, protects democratic institutions, and allows our young people to dream big and reach farther. Our economic partnerships flourish in countries where security provides the stability required for robust trade and investment. That is to say that when African nations are more secure, when this region is more stable, the world, including the United States, is safer and more prosperous.
Our safety is interconnected. When one country or region falters, the ripple effect transcends borders, impacting livelihoods, economies, and development prospects. True security in Africa must be continental in ambition and collaborative in execution. For Africa to thrive, we must deepen our investment in unity, not just as a diplomatic ideal, but as a practical strategy for resilience. Strengthening partnerships among our defense institutions, promoting shared doctrines and strategic alignment, and the championing of Africa-led solutions must remain central to our approach as you discuss the different aspects and paradigms in this conference. These principles should guide how we respond to crisis, support peace operations, and prepare for evolving threats of the 21st century. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenya remains firmly committed to the cause of regional peace and stability. We envision a future in which African states stand together in mutual defense of our sovereignty and values, where our military cooperation is not reactive, but proactive and strategic. In this regard, we will continue working with our partners bilaterally, regionally, and in a multilateral framework to build a defense architecture that is robust, credible, and enduring. By strengthening our collective security mechanisms and sustaining unity of effort, we can overcome the challenges that stand in the way of our collective progress.
We can never defeat these people if we don't unite as a people. We were living just so before these people came, and in order for them to continue to gain what they want in Africa, they have to petition us so they can have easy access in Africa. The leaders are the problem because they are the final decision makers. If they don't unite and make this a possibility, we the ones that are having no power can never cause this to happen in real life. And that is the reason to which we need to put pressure on these people so that they do things that will please us and not them. Rwanda, Paul Kagame rightfully said that we the citizens are ahead of our leaders, and that is a fact because the way we think, our leaders are not thinking in that direction. That is why we are doing everything possible to call for unity among us so that we'll make this revolution a successful one. We have seen that the only thing that can make us to defeat the enemy is by uniting and coming together. Unity is all that we need as Africans, and we need to be awoken to know that there are other things that these people use to cripple us. So we have to move away from these things in order for us to be able to get the freedom that we need. Like Duma Boko, the president of Botswana, rightfully said that these systems you can never thrive and do anything on your own because the systems were designed to make sure you, the African, do not progress. But Africans, even till date, other people, or most of us still believe that in order for us to see the Africa we are looking for, we still need to move in the democratic system, which is not true. And the majority of people with that mentality are the ones that are still into A party B. If party A should come, Africa will be good. If party B should come, this. That is what is still keeping us backwards, because most of us haven't realized that these are systems that are crippling the African. We don't always sit down to do assessment on our progress, looking at what we have practiced in the democratic system for this number of years. So the African is calling for a borderless Africa. We want to live together as one people. We want to unite under one umbrella, one leadership and one military, like William Ruto is calling for. William Ruto should have made this call when we were singing for this unity. You don't wait when the United States of America comes out openly to talk to you, and you will then be running calling for this same thing because you want to cover yourself. We need this revolution to cover the people who are truly fighting for the African continent. Or maybe because the next election is just at the corner, he's doing everything possible to win the hearts of the Kenyans again, for them to give him the mandate. But my brothers in Kenya, you know what you want. Even though our votes do not count and a lot of people are not aware, these people, if truly they see that William Ruto is still the one that can let them have access to the mineral resources in Africa, Ruto will continue to be the president of Kenya. So we are the ones that can set ourselves free, and we have to join hands with Mali, Niger and Burkina Faso. And truly, if Ruto and other African countries believe that this is what we should be doing, then they have to team up with Mali, Niger and Burkina Faso. Together, collectively, we make Africa a better place. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we make Africa great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world. In Africa, East Africa, and in Kenya.